Hi, I would firstly like to introduce everyone that will be speaking today. My name is Lisa, and we have Jennifer, Gurdeep, Laura, and Nicole. The aim of our presentation is to explore Tesco PLC's organisational culture and development through applying the competing values framework to our analysis. The reason for our choice of organisation is that Tesco PLC has been operating for over 100 years and are always expanding and diversifying their workforce. With that length of time operating, it would only be fair to say that they have extensive experience with creating workforce culture for their employees. In addition, within this group, we have myself and Gurdeep, who currently work within Tesco, which therefore means that we have a lot of experience and knowledge with the type of culture that Tesco offers its employees. From a customer's point of view, Tesco's core purpose is serving Britain's shoppers a little better every day, which they achieve through the high standards of work produced from their employees. For Tesco employees, there are lots of opportunities and opportunities for development, and managers are very supportive. Tesco have several different managers within one store, which means that they are designated managers for each department. This therefore means that managers can be more involved with their employees and their department. In addition, it has the benefit of allowing employees to develop a bond with their manager as they work closely with them every day. Tesco adopt a hierarchy structure as they have multiple different levels of employment. For example, one chain of command would be that the checkout employee firstly reports to team support, which is a form of supervisor. Then the team support reports to the checkout manager, and the checkout manager reports to the deputy store manager, and then to the overall store manager. Tesco's culture is very inclusive, and employees are allowed to learn and develop in their own way. Tesco also have a tracking system in place to monitor and track organisational performance. This is called Tesco's Big Six. The 6 factors that are included are: first, growth sales; second, performance; third, our colleagues' performance; fourth, partnership performance and growth; fifth, operating cash flow; sixth, profit and delivery. Thank you, and I will now pass you over to Jennifer Williamson to discuss the CVF framework further.
So the framework that we've chosen as a group to implement for Tesco's organisational culture is the Competing Values Framework. The CVF model was originally put into place in order to evaluate whether or not an organisation is performing effectively. There are 4 quadrants to the framework, as you can see, in order to establish the best culture for each organisation. These are collaborate, create, control, and compete. The first of the quadrants being collaborate, also known as the clan culture. This is all about an organisation whose performance depends on working together as a team, almost like an extended family. Organisations who have a clan culture enjoy participation from every employee in order to make them feel like a valued part of the team. Organisations who implement clan culture are usually looking to gain long-term organisational goals. Following on from that is the create culture. This can also be known as adhocracy. This is a more dynamic culture. It's all about organisations doing things first with breakthrough ideas. They're not afraid of taking risks. This culture usually relates to an organisation who may be involved in the arts, for example, a large media company. After this, we have the control quadrant. This is a culture of hierarchy. They like to do things right first time so that goals can be achieved with no restraints. This would be a high-risk organisation who must ensure that things are done with strict structure and control. Finally is the competitive culture, also known as market culture. They like to do things fast and be the best at it and win, essentially. This would relate to the major supermarkets competing against each other to be the best, and in our case, being Tesco. This type of culture values healthy competition in order to get things done quickly. It's vital that any organisation establishes the type of culture that best suits them. So now I'll pass you over to Gurdeep, who will explain the culture of Tesco and the opportunities that come with it.
Following the CVF model, the culture types we have identified with Tesco are market and clan culture. As mentioned before, a market culture is competitive and it seeks market dominance. Tesco is in competition with other members of the Big Six that aim to become the leading retail supermarket and to provide the best quality products and customers. The other culture we identified was clan culture. This is because the main themes with a clan culture is one of collaborative nature and a sense of togetherness. A clan can be compared to a large family which Tesco represents. It is seen as a family brand and it is people focused, whether that be through its customers or its employees. Tesco also expressed that looking after their colleagues in a culture of trust and respect is essential to their success. They want colleagues to feel recognised and rewarded, give them the opportunity to progress and make sure they feel supported in their development, and in turn their staff will try their hardest for their customers. The influencing factors for supporting our thinking would be through these three factors. The first factor being artifacts, which would be the brand image, advertising, and their social media accounts. These are used to communicate and interact with customers, creating a people-focused feel and also using it as a marketing strategy for promotion of products and customer service. The second being their values. No one tries harder for customers. We treat people how they want to be treated, and we believe every little helps can make a big difference. These values are highlighted in their stores and online. They are practiced in store from members of staff. The values tie in with the culture as they promote the clan culture feel through being people focused, but also that market culture feel as they are promoting themselves in an image of being the best and showing how their values put them above the rest of the market. And lastly, the influencing factor would be assumptions. In regards to a clan culture, working in a large supermarket chain such as Tesco, you'd assume it to be you'd assume them to have a team environment feel where everyone helps and supports each other. Normally, you'd expect a positive atmosphere, and with a market culture, you'd assume there to be a level of competitiveness as far as promotions and targets go. From working within Tesco, I can say these assumptions of the clan and market culture are true as they are shown on a day-to-day basis. Now I'll pass you over to Laura to discuss the interventions that might be applicable.
So I'm going to be speaking about the planned interventions that may be applicable at different levels within Tesco. As an organisation as a whole has been identified as having a market culture as their main culture with a subculture of clan, one appropriate intervention that could be used to improve the clan culture could be that of team building days or charity nights. This would allow the team to interact out with their company setting and build on their clan relationship. In terms of teams within Tesco could be restructured at any point for any reason. It could be that an integral part of the team has left and so someone has to fill their space, or it could be as simple as transferring an employee to cover long-term absenteeism or maternity leave. In terms of key personnel within Tesco may also need intervention in the way of appropriate training. Leadership training would allow for managers to lead their teams more effectively, resulting in increased productivity and higher staff morale. I'll now pass you on to Nicole to discuss the challenges of culture change.
So this part of the presentation will discuss the challenges of culture change for Tesco. The first challenge that could be identified within Tesco could be effective communication. The company is a large organisation with many different layers to the hierarchy, which could prevent a clear message to why a culture change is necessary. It is vital that when changing culture to include employees and cascade information throughout the whole organisation, information should be clear and concise, explaining the importance of change and what benefits this would have for staff. This will allow for the business to engage with their staff, asking for their opinions, which will allow for greater employee buy-in and also establishes trust. The next challenge Tesco could face could be resistance to change. Many employees may not understand the need to change, with the notion that the way things are just now are fine. This could be more apparent in those employees who have worked with the organisation for a long time. It is the fear of the unknown. Employees may see culture change as a threat to them, questioning what does it mean for them? Is their job still safe? It could mean a new way of working, which could be difficult for an employee to envision. Employees' opinions and ideas should be included, allowing them to be part of the culture change process, which then will allow for less resistance to change. Another challenge that could be identified could be implementing change too quickly. Changes that happen too quickly could fail and could result in little employee buy-in. Leaders within Tesco should create timelines and implement change gradually, indicating to employees when changes will occur. Leaders should also consider internal and external factors, understanding the current culture and how their employees may react to change, and understanding how their competitors and customers would also react to the change. The last key challenge is assumptions from leadership. Leadership may think they know their staff and what is important for them, however, staff may not feel confident to share their thoughts and feelings with management. Before making a culture change, Tesco management should organise to obtain feedback from staff, for example, through an anonymous employee survey. This will then include staff and again allow for greater employee buy-in. It is important for the business to understand what challenges they could face when changing or implementing a new culture. This will ensure that the problematic areas are addressed and strategies are incorporated into the culture change to prevent such issues arising or knowing what to do when issues do occur. It would be, moving on to the next slide. So it would be recommended for Tesco to continue how they're going, however, applying more focus on their clan culture. Those organisations who work collaboratively together perform better, meaning it could create competitive advantage and help to achieve organisational goals, with that being in line with the market culture. Tesco could introduce more team building activities to incorporate more of a clan culture aspect into the culture of the organisation. So to conclude today, we have discussed Tesco's culture using the CVF model. Thank you for watching.